Hey guys, welcome to Koh Tao. I am here, I'm going to tell you all about my trip in Bangkok, which was mental. I'm not going to tell you everything because that would take an age, so I'm just going to stick to a few of the big bits. I'm going to start off with temples. Like everywhere else in Thailand, there are a ton of temples. So, you know, don't spend spend as long as you want, but I got complete temple fatigue. I've seen far too many Buddhas at this point. I did go see Wat Pho out of the three big ones, and that was impressive. The reclining Buddha there is huge, and the amount of detail that's gone into the whole thing is so impressive. The actual surrounding complex as well, lots of cool mosaic tiled stupa and so on. I did go to the Grand Palace, but that was 1,000 baht, and I was just, by this point, just too hot, too tired, too many temples, didn't bother doing it. You can get up to the neck of the woods though. I was in Sukhumvit, and you can get up that way quite easily on the river taxis, and they're really easy to navigate. So you can get an organised trip, but you don't need to, and actually it's quite fun taking the boats. I also took a trip out to the floating market. Now, that again you can get to quite easily. You just need to get to Victory Monument, which is on the metro line, and it costs like 28 baht for the train, if not less, depending on where you're coming from. And then you can get a bus from there to the floating market, which is 80 baht if memory serves, there, and then the same back. So do it really cheaply. You don't need to buy one of the trips. However, the one that I did go to, it wasn't huge. It's one of the new ones, and it's cool. And you can eat some random stuff. I ate this weird crab thing. I don't even know what it was. It looked like I should have died out with the dinosaurs, but it was all right. It tasted like crab anyway. Had some squid, and that you sit on the side on the bank, and then someone will go and get it from the boats in the river, and then you come back, which was kind of, I more had this idea of being in amongst the boats and possibly catching a river taxi and stuff, and it wasn't like that at all. There are different markets, maybe go to one of those, I don't know. Wherever you go, do try out the coconut ice cream. I tried it at the floating market. It is in the area around Wat Pho as well, but it's absolutely gorgeous. Now, on to the nightlife. I'm going to do these in reverse order. I'm going to start with Soi Cowboy, which is the red light district. I was expecting to be like Soho, and there are a lot of gaudy lights and stuff, but where Soho is interspersed with different shops and cafes and bars, this was just sex, just all the way. And they were all the same bar, just with different names. It was all, you walk in, there's a stage in the middle and seating around the outside, and the women on the stage just sort of stand there, sort of shuffling from side to side, looking like they don't really want to be there. And they're all in matching bikinis and have little numbers on them. And the idea is you go to the bar and you say, I'd like number 53, and then number 53 is served to you, much like getting a takeout. It's all very disturbing. The last one we went to in Soi Cowboy, they had a ping pong show as well, which again, it was just a bit, these women putting the ping pongs in them and then letting it drop down their legs into a glass, and having put money in the glass. It was all just very, when you think about it, it's pretty grim. They also, when they're on the stage, once they have been up on the stage for about 5 minutes, all the girls get off, and then a new lot in different bikinis come on, and it's like they've graded them a bit like cattle. These ones, they're more experienced ones, they cost more, sort of thing. It's all very, when you think about it, it's just gross. Now, Koh San Road. Koh San Road was the craziest by far. I met the Tuttles, Chrissy and Brad, who I'd met in South Africa, on Koh San Road, and Jenna came with me, and we went for food. Food turned out to be a lot of pad thai, and then scorpions and insects of all kinds. The scorpions are actually pretty nice, they taste like marmites, and the bugs, they just taste like fried bits of stuff. I pretty much ate everything, like cockroaches and crickets and grubs and mealworms. They even included some frogs, and it's just like fried bits of stuff. So that was cool. We then ended up getting a beer tower, and this was kind of the point of no return looking back now. Everything that happened started at this point, and it was just a bit much, because 3 of us were doing it. Jen wasn't having any beer, so a litre of beer each later. We were quite grossly drunk, and I got this little nice try bracelet, just because. We ended up getting so drunk that, well, we ended up in this club called Brick Bar. It's on the Koh San Road, and it is full of local people, which was really cool, and amazing local music. Like myself and Chrissy were jumping around dancing to it. We don't speak Thai, we don't know these songs, but we were dancing around like crazy. It was brilliant. And we had some free drinks tokens. We took those up to the bar, and the guy just turned around, turned back, put a bottle of whiskey on the bar. Rather than giving us like some beers or something, we just got like a bottle of whiskey between us. So we got a couple of bottles of Coke, and we got so drunk, like unfeasibly drunk. I've just shots of whiskey, and then just followed by whiskey with more whiskey. It was crazy. At one point, I left the club to put Jenna in a taxi home, and then on the way back, bought a new vest. Got changed into the vest in the middle of Koh San Road. The woman who ran the stall was just like really embarrassed, and then went back into the club. Promptly lost my t-shirt, which I really liked as well. And the vest didn't end up much better by the end of the night. Yes, we were there for a while. Then we decided we were going to go to a ping pong show. So this is the first one I'd seen, and this one was just gross. Like the women looked dead in the eyes, and just like they didn't want to be there. Like there was no performance or anything like that. They did various tricks. You know, I've never seen a woman smoke without using her mouth, but I have now. Most of the time, I was trying not to look. Well, I wasn't like not trying to look as such, but it was a bit like, yes, I understand what's going on, and I was carrying on my conversation. I wasn't like gawking like a lot of people were. It was quite weird seeing them all sort of staring like, oh my god, like these like 20-year-old Western tourists. It was, like I say, pretty gross. And then we went from there to another club, got really drunk, and then went to get a taxi home. And just before we got the taxi home, we were looking for which taxi to get into. About to get into the taxi, and they started on Brad, and one thing led to another, and I got punched in the face, like twice. I don't really know what happened. I was splitting up the fight, one guy was going away, and the next thing I knew, I was like holding my mouth, and there was like blood coming out everywhere, and I got like knocked on the head here, and had like a cut coming with blood all down here. So my vest was then covered in blood, and eventually managed to get everyone into a taxi and home. But I have no idea who punched me at all. That's a complete blackout. And yeah, that was the end of the night really. So we got back to Chrissy and Brad's place, and Chrissy, being a pharmacist and doctor, she sorted me out. But yeah, punched in the face. It's never happened before. One last thing I wanted to say was that during all of this, I was staying with Jenna and her parents, and they were so cool to stay with. They were just so nice. I love, obviously I love Jenna, you know, she's my old flatmate, and I love Jill and Sean, her parents. They're just so nice, and I was so looking forward to seeing them anyway. Yeah, like, I was just so thankful. And like Bangkok in itself is a brilliant place, you know, like it's just a really good, after all the sort of small islands and small villages I've been in, to come somewhere that's busy and has like multiculturalism, and even the transport system. I was like, the Londoner in me loves this. I think I've definitely found out that I'm a bit of a city dweller. So that's everything for Bangkok. Lots there, and I will tell you about Koh Tao, Koh Phangan, and Koh Samui next time.